What's up, everybody? ShonnyDman here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. Bringing you another Nerd Talk episode as per usual, and very excited for this week's guest. So before we get into it, just tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I go by Redpompeii. I've been cosplaying for a couple years now. I think ever since eighth grade in middle school, which is kind of embarrassing, but yeah. I mean, I have my platforms, and I normally cosplay anime characters, but I also cosplay video game characters as well.
Oh, okay. So you've done this for a while then, since eighth grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. So to kick us off and going, tell us a little bit about that. What got you started with cosplaying?
I've always been interested in cosplaying. Like, I always liked watching anime and stuff like that. And when I was in middle school, a lot of my friends and I were trying to like make our own cosplays together because we didn't have like a job to like, and we didn't have money to like buy it. So we tried making it, and like drawing together and stuff like that. And I remember one of my friends who I guess now looking back at it, she wasn't really that much of a friend. She said
Oh,
that I couldn't cosplay if I wanted to. So I was like, okay, we'll see about that. And then that's what kind of set me off to cosplay. And I always wanted to go to the cons too. They looked so cool and they looked like so much fun. So I decided, why not? So I didn't let her hold me back and I just decided to do it.
oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's nice. So what was the first one that you did?
The first cosplay that I did was Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I watched a little bit of Attack on Titan when it first came out. I've fallen out of it just because there's other shows going on that has caught my attention. But I do know they're like in their final stages of the series, television wise.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about my like anime wise.
I heard about that too. I also fell off of it because a lot of other animes and manga have been coming out, and I was like, oh, I kind of like these a little more, but I I keep seeing spoilers and snippets of it, so I
Mhm.
kind of know what's going on, but I kind of don't.
Right. I remember when it first came out. 'Cause it would show up on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim. I don't think it was too. I think Toonami was probably done by this point, but I could be wrong. But when I first watched it, I knew nothing about it, and so just watching the first like couple of episodes of it, I was like, "This is very weird and very freaky and very terrifying." Because the way the Titans, just like the way they smile at times, was very like creepy to look at. So it was very very traumatizing to watch that growing up. Um, so you've been doing this since eighth grade. How many cons have you been to since that point, or at least what year was the first time you went to a con?
Oh wow, I think the first time I went to a con was, I'm gonna say either 2017 or 2018. And I went with my twin and my uncle because he was like, "Oh, we should go to Comic-Con since you like anime." And I was like, "Okay, why not?" But I go to the same three cons because I don't like traveling too far. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also scared that like I'll lose my luggage because it's happened before and I'd be really upset if I had an expensive cosplay in it.
Oh, what happened with that? You lost your luggage before?
Yeah, I was going to see my long distance boyfriend at the time, and I was coming back, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. They gave my seat up to someone else. They lost my luggage. I only had my carry-on, and my flight was delayed by like an hour and a half. And I was kind of sitting there by myself, and I was like, "This is so scary. I'm probably gonna get murdered." I was so nervous.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh man,
Yeah,
I guess I'm lucky. I never had anything like that um happen to me before, so I guess I'm pretty lucky with that.
it must
Um,
be nice.
yeah. So tell us about your first con experience. What was that like?
When I first went, I was definitely overwhelmed, but in a good way. There were lots of people. And like when I went, Attack on Titan was super popular. So they had at one point, they were telling us like, oh, if you cosplayed Attack on Titan, meet outside at like 3 o'clock so we can take a giant photo shoot. And I remember seeing a whole bunch of people just as like all these characters, and everyone there was really nice. Didn't have like any complaints. It was like the second and third time that I went. That I think my second time I went as Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail, and then I went as Lucy from Fairy Tail for my third year. And I remember someone asked if they could see my prop for like my sword when I went as Urza. It was like her Flame Samurai outfit.
Mhm.
And without me giving an answer, they took my prop and they broke it. And I was very heartbroken and upset.
Oh.
And it was broken from the inside, so we couldn't even like fix it because it was
Mhm.
like the inside. But other than that, my con experiences have always been pretty good. I mean, I normally take like a man with me or I go in like a big group to avoid like awkward situations,
Right.
which have happened before, but that's kind of expected, at least I think, for myself.
That's true. Hopefully that hasn't happened a lot.
It happens like every time I go, but it's always for like a short amount of time, and I don't have a problem like defending myself and being like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Right.
And I'm sure like the guy that I usually bring around with me or like my group of friends are like, "Hey, can you like not be weird or we're going to call someone." So
Does
doesn't ruin the fun the whole day, but
right, that's true. That's true. Does does your boyfriend cosplay too?
my current boyfriend does not.
Oh,
He doesn't watch anime, but
okay.
we went to the last Comic-Con, which was New York, and
Oh,
I made him go as Leon from Resident Evil while I went as Ada. So he had fun and he said that he would be down to do it again. So I'm slowly converting him to liking anime. And we just
nice.
finished Chainsaw Man together.
Oh, I've never seen. I know about the show, but I've never seen it.
I think it's pretty good. I think it lives up to its hype.
Oh, I'll have to give it a look at it then. 'Cause, like I am not really much into like the newer style of anime that's that's come out.
Mhm.
Um, and I've mentioned this before with other guests. It's like I was very kind of old school with anime growing up, so like watching like Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, and that kind of anime. That's kind of where I was at, or at least that was what was on TV as I was growing up. Now, obviously, growing up, Naruto came out, One Piece. Um, there was something else. There was some other. There's a third show that was pretty big.
Mhm.
I don't know. I can. There's a lot of anime. It's hard to keep up with them all, but that's pretty cool. So you went to New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
I do want to go to that one year because that is very cool. I think I've had a few guests on that have been to New York Comic Con. But that's one of the ones I do want to go to one of these days.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it looks fun, and everybody looks like they're having a good time and everything. So so tell us about some of your cosplays that that you have done in the past or that you're working on in the kind of like working on now, like new projects that you're working on. Because I think I saw one the other day. Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was. You posted one on your Instagram. Oh, what was it? I think you had cat ears.
Yeah, that was Black Hinikawa from Monogatari.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just like, I like there was something specific about that photo that I remember. I was like, oh wait, she was wearing cat ears. I think it was it, and so it looks really cool. And I like all your cosplays are all very unique. Which one's your favorite that you've done?
Wow, that's a hard one. I think I would have to say either my Juvia Loxer cosplay from Fairy Tail or one of the Dimitrescu sisters from Resident Evil 8. I normally like switch out the wig. And I
Okay,
think the only reason for those two is because I like how if the cosplay fits on my body, it makes me feel like very secure and confident compared to like some of my other cosplays. And I like the makeup that I do with it. Like the Dimitrescu sisters is very like messy, like they got blood on them and stuff. And I like doing like some gory type of makeup. And then my Juvia one, like I kind of relate to the character and I like how the cosplay like hugs my body and it just is very comfortable to be in. And
okay.
like the blue is just really nice too. So I think those are probably my favorites at the moment.
So okay. So you prefer like a lot of like um close to your skin kind of cosplays. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess most people do. Now I think about it. I guess it depends on the kind of person you are. Um, but like you mentioned, you said that makes you feel a lot more secure and everything. Um,
It's easier to like move around too when
oh
it's like
yeah.
very flowy. Like the recent cosplay that I finished was my Ronnie cosplay from Elden Ring, and I love it. It's just extremely hot. It's extremely big. It's extremely flowy. So it kind of gets in the way. So I can't
Hmm.
really do a lot of stuff. But that's why I'm also working on my Millennia cosplay. I think I'm pronouncing the name right. Millennia from also from Elden Ring. I only have the helmet done so far, but I'm excited to get the rest done. So,
Okay. Which one? Which one of your cosplays? Which one was the easiest to make, and which one was the hardest to make?
the easiest cosplay for me to make would probably be my Esdeath cosplay from A Comic Got Kill. I'm probably going to revamp and like re make it look better than it was, but it's a very simple outfit. I think the only hard part was like the measurements because I'm really bad with math. So I kind of just like wing it. The hardest cosplay was definitely my Ronnie cosplay because I was struggling to find all the fabrics and then attaching them. I had to use my friend's sewing machine that I didn't know how to use, so she had to teach me.
Oh,
And putting all the felts together and making sure they all matched. Like it was a lot of ripping, cutting, putting it back together, having to do like the same piece 5 times because I didn't know how to do it. And I never played Elden Ring. The only reason I started making this cosplay was because my boyfriend was obsessed with it and he really liked the character Ronnie. And I was like, oh, it would be quite the flex if I just showed up in it. And it was supposed to be like a Halloween surprise, but he got sick. So I couldn't
oh,
even show him.
it's
But
very
yeah, that one
funny.
made me cry like 3 times while I was working on it. So that was
Oh,
definitely the
really?
hardest to make.
Wow,
Yeah,
3 times.
it was quite
What was?
stressful.
Oh, I bet. I bet it was actually made you cry 3 times. That's so you basically make all of your cosplays from scratch, or do
Um,
you, or it just depends on the situation.
it depends on the situation. I have plenty of cosplays that I bought, like this one I just
Hmm.
bought. But if I'm feeling like more adventurous and creative and I'm not like overwhelmed with like work and like my college stuff, then I will definitely try my best to make something. And I'll definitely like look up videos and ask my friends who know how to sew and like put things together to help me out. I think it's like a fun experience. And also, I think it's pretty cool that I can make like costumes and hopefully eventually like clothes if I ever get better at it.
So how do you so you mentioned you're in college. So how do you and you have a job? So how do you juggle all of this? The cosplaying, college, your job. How do you manage to juggle all that in your everyday life?
Normally I try to make my college days as like the least amount of days I have to attend as possible. Right now, I only go to college like 2 days a week, which is
Oh,
pretty nice. So I work about like 5 to 6 days a week, but that's normally in the evening when I'm done with college because my day normally ends at like 4 or earlier. And I start work at like 4:30 and I normally close until like 10, 11, or 9. So I have that, but on days where I'm not going to school and I work like later in the day, I'll just cosplay in the morning, or I'll do it like on the weekend or on my one day off.
okay. Oh man, I'm sure that must be like stressful because like you're having like to juggle all that and just like kind of plan out your week. Do you usually plan out your weeks of like, okay, this is well, I mean, obviously college schedules are usually pretty much set, but like,
Mhm.
do you just like when you get your work schedule, like, okay, I work these days at this time, I can squeeze doing cosplays around this time. Is that essentially how you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I normally have like a planner and I put everything that I need to do in that planner. So, and then I cross it off as I go and I do that every day just to like stay organized and make sure that I'm doing everything that needs to be done. But yeah, I mean, if I want to cosplay and it's like, and I have time and I didn't plan it, I'll normally just do it anyways. But most of the time I do cosplay and like I schedule it so that it fits perfectly, and that way I have time to like eat, I have time to go do like some homework, I have time to study, and then I go to work after. So
Hmm.
there's that. It works
Okay.
out well.
Yeah. So far, it looks like it's going pretty good for you. Um. So how many have you been to a con this year, or is that
Yeah.
just a little bit down the line?
I keep thinking that we're in 2022 still, but I haven't been to one in 2023 yet. My first one will be next month, I believe, and there's
Oh,
going to be a small one held at my campus. But I've been to two cons last year in 2022. That was Anime New York City and then New York Comic Con, which I always enjoy. Anime New York City got better after the whole COVID thing, so
right.
pretty happy about that because I wasn't gonna go again until one of my friends like was like, "You should try one more time. Tickets are cheap," and I was like, "Fine."
How many do you go to a year, like a year?
Normally two or three. I want to try like branching out more, and I know that like requires me to travel a bit, but like into states that are close to mine that I can drive to and like make a 1 day trip or even a
Hmm.
2 day trip. I wouldn't mind like getting a hotel room or something like that. But I do want to, I mean, I have so much cosplay that I feel like I barely wear that I'll
Right.
probably either donate, get rid of, or use for a different cosplay. I'd like to show it off a few more times before I decide
Right.
to call it quits.
So where are some different cons in different states that you're interested, or at least you heard about that you want to go check out?
I heard there was one in or near Asbury Park. That one's pretty close to me, so I wanted to go see that. And also it's like by the beach, so why not?
Oh,
Um,
oh,
I
you're a
wanted to go
beach
to
person.
the Maryland one as well. I feel like that would be fun. And it's also like kind of close. I mean, it's like 3 hours away, but it's kind of close. It's not like five.
Right.
So, but I definitely do eventually want to go to the San Diego one. I hear that's like one of the biggest cons and
Okay.
it looks really huge. So I'd like to visit it eventually.
Okay. So you're a beach person.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
like the beach. I like the warm weather, but if
Oh,
it's
I
cold,
hate
I'm
I hate the
really not there
beach.
for it. Really?
Really, I'm not. I am not a beach person.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's sands everywhere. It's so grainy.
yeah, pretty much exactly. I mean, I was with some friends and we took a trip to Cuba, and we had a free day and we went to the beach. I mean, they enjoyed it. I just sat there with a book. I was like, this is not. It was an interesting day because I accidentally was like eavesdropping on a family because I was trying to
Oh,
figure out if they were like British or Canadian, and so I think spent most of my time talking to myself whether this family was Canadian or British. So I guess that's considered fun on the beach, but it was nice. It was nice. It was peaceful, but I'm just not overall. I'm just not a beach person. Never
yeah.
have been.
Hmm.
I don't know how people are beach people, but you're either swimming in the ocean or just getting burned on the beach. So, uh, two each their own. So, um, so moving off of cosplays for a second. So when you're not cosplaying, you're not working, you're not doing schoolwork. What else do you do in your free time?
Well, I like to play video games.
Oh, okay.
Usually the Resident Evil series. I love horror video games as well.
Nice.
I also play like Minecraft and Rocket League, and I used to play Overwatch, not anymore. Used to play Smite, not anymore as well. I like going on walks and hikes and working out. I like hanging out with my friends, watching horror movies. I also paint and make bracelets, so that's always fun.
Oh,
I could make bracelets the whole day if I was given a chance.
I so I think this was last year I did this, but I played the original Resident Evil game. But it was remastered for PS4, and I never played these games before. And I did a series on it for my channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a fun game. It's a very difficult game, but I was like, this is very fun. I actually am enjoying playing this game because I think what I didn't realize was when I first started, you would get like these tapes that you would use as like a save, and I didn't realize those were kind of very limited, and so I was like saving the game like every like 5 minutes, and then I realized I was like, oh man, I haven't found a tape in a while, and I'm out, and I'm like 5 hours into the game, and I haven't saved in 5 hours. I was like, oh my god, if I die, I had to start all the way over. It was very very traumatizing, but I was able to find some, and I was like, thank God.
I
Um,
could imagine.
yeah, so I played that. I right now on the channel we're going through the Dark Picture anthology series. Those are very fun. Um, I played Slender the Arrival, which is a very fun game. It can give you a heart attack though.
I'll
Um,
be sure to write it down.
yeah, it's just it gives you a heart attack. Um, I haven't played as many horror video games as I was thinking. Um, there's not really that many I do want to play. I do want to get into Dead by Daylight. That is something I do want to get into. Um, but for the most part, that's yeah. Um,
Dead
so
by
what?
Daylight is a fun game to play. I've played it a couple times.
Oh yeah, the last guest I had on, she was. I was telling her, I was like, listen, you should stream some Dead by Daylight so we can all just watch you just scream and do nothing. so,
Hmm.
so what horror? So what? So you like horror movies? What's your favorite horror movie that you've seen?
Um, wow. Oof, there's so many. Um, if I were to be completely unbiased, because I know Resident Evil has a few movies, but excluding that, I would probably say I really liked 13 Ghosts because that was like the one movie that actually scared me,
It's a
that I
good
had to
movie.
turn it off and then start like 5 years later again. 28 Days Later also scared me, had to turn that off and start it 5 years later again. Yeah, had to start 28 Days Later. I really liked Orphan. I mean, horror movies don't really scare me as
Mm,
much anymore. I feel like I've seen a lot of them to the point where it's like not very scary. I kind of expect everything, but
yeah,
I really liked Antlers. That one is really cool. I like how they were featuring like the Wendigo.
I think that's on HBO Max or Paramount Plus. It's one of those two. I think I saw trailers for it, and I was very interested in watching it, but I never got around to watching it. But now I
It's
think I will
really
get around to
cool.
watching it.
I like how they got into like the Navajo legends and
Hmm.
folk tales and stuff. I think that's really cool.
I know there is there. Oh, it's not really a scary movie, but it's on HBO. It's on HBO Max, but I actually did enjoy it. It's a foreign film, or or are they called indie films? I think they're called indie films. But there's a movie called The Witch that's on
The
HBO
Witch.
Max. That is I like it. I think it's a pretty good movie. Um, uh, it is something. I will tell you, it is a very something movie, but it's actually pretty good. Um, and then there is another one of my favorites is The Strangers.
Yeah, that was a good
That's a
one.
good. I didn't like the second one as much, but the first one was good. Um, Sinister.
Hmm.
The first one was good. Didn't care for the second one.
There's a second.
Yes, there's a second. It's just yeah. I think it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Um, and then there was what was it called? There was a movie on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it.
What was it about?
It was about these four friends. They were kind of like hiking. They went hiking because a friend of theirs was killed like in a robbery, and they go hiking to their
Is
favorite
it The
spot.
Ritual?
Yes, yes, that was a good movie as well. I enjoyed that. Creepy, but I very much enjoyed it. Um, and then there's a movie that came out well, not recently, but it was Smile.
Yeah, I
That
saw
movie
that
freaked me
one.
out. I was just like, I was watching it at work, because it was a slow day, and so I was kind of like, all right, so let me check this out. And after I was done, I was like, I don't know why I watched that. That was very traumatizing to me. Just, just the way they smiled was just very creepy to me.
It was
Uh,
frustrating when the husband would not listen to his wife. I
oh
was
yeah, I
like,
know.
ah.
Oh, I know. I was just like, I was like, what are you doing, man? It's like, and then I think the scene, the most messed up scene was when the main actress was like sitting in her car after visiting her sister, and you see the sister come up like she's gonna say something, and then her
Yeah.
head just kind of like dangles. I had to like
Yeah.
pause the movie, and I was like, I'm gonna go outside for a second because I did not like that.
She could have been outside waiting for you though.
You're right. You're right. And I would just have to accept my fate at that moment. But I was just kind of like, I don't want to do this right now. This is something.
Yeah. I saw that scene in the trailer and I was like, that sold me. Like I had to watch the movie. Barbarian also came out a little
Barbarian.
after the
Oh
Smile
man,
movie.
such a good
That movie
movie.
was something else.
It was. It was, but it was such a good movie.
It was.
I was I was watching it because it wasn't what I thought it was, especially the beginning part of it. I thought I thought the beginning of it was just kind of like just a prequel to what's going to happen to the not Colin Farrell. What is his name? I can't think of his name. Well, of the main male character, I thought that was
Yeah.
primarily was going to focus on him. But man, I was just like so surprised because like throughout the movie, he's trying to convince people he didn't do this with this woman and things like that. And then at the end, he tries to like sacrifice the female character to save
Yeah.
himself. And I sat there, I was like, you really are a dick, aren't you? What is this? But that was
Oh,
a good
for
movie.
sure.
That was good. That was a good movie.
They definitely had me shocked. Like when we found out what exactly was in the house, I honestly did think it was going to be about ghosts and like paranormal activity. I
Yeah.
was sitting there like, oh, another one. And then the next scene, like when the guy goes in the tunnel and then you see what's there, and like there's that one gory scene. I was watching with two of my friends and I was like, are you okay? Because I didn't know they were going to do all this. And I know you don't watch horror movies, but are you all right? Um, but yeah, that movie was extremely well done. I was surprised that, and like their ending song was a banger. I was like definitely into it. But now we all make jokes at my job for the people who have seen the movie, and we're like, my baby, my baby.
Oh my gosh. That was just a wild. That's such a wild movie.
It
Um,
was definitely took you for a ride.
yeah, it did, yes. Oh, I'm trying to think what was another horror movie that I liked that I saw. Um, I do like. I mentioned this to somebody before on an episode. I do like cheesy C-rated horror films. Like you could tell like the production is just so bad, and it's just I don't know why I love them so much, but I do love them. Um, there was another horror movie that I saw that I can't remember what it was that I really enjoyed. What was it? Ah, shit. There's a movie on Hulu called, it's not a horror movie, it's more of a sci-fi suspense movie. There's a movie called, I believe it's Underwater.
Underwater.
Yeah. Um it's a very it's a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed it. Um it's a group of these people that are kind of like they kind of work under the water doing drilling and that kind of things. And they awakened something down there. But it was a pretty good movie. I think that there's just so many good horror movies. I can't really think of them off the top of my head now.
I agree. I think the problem with horror movies now is that they're kind of like there's a mix between is it horror or do we just want to like freak the customers out and gross them out? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
saw Terrifier 2 came out
Oh yeah, yeah.
not recently, but like a couple months ago, and I watched the first one. The first one had like a plot. I thought it was decent. I liked it. But the second one I felt like they were doing it more for like the gore and to like gross the audience out because a lot of stuff in there I was like, "Oh, that's not really needed, but okay."
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of like the horror movies that were more on the disturbing side that's like, yeah, I wouldn't watch this again." Um, but yeah, I don't appreciate when they put like certain scenes that don't need to be in there. They don't
Yeah,
help the plot. It's just to gross, I guess, people out. And if they're gonna do that, I wish they had a different genre for that. I feel like it's not really horror at that point. Like the Forbidden movie, Human Centipede, that's not horror. That's just
yeah.
disgusting.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So the Human Centipede is definitely a very traumatizing movie. This is something you should
Yes,
not watch.
very.
So,
Not the
uh,
worst I've seen, but it's definitely up
right,
there.
right. I I remember when A Quiet Place came out,
Hmm.
and it was really, really rough. But I didn't know what kind of movie I was watching, and you're watching it, and you're realizing like the entire movie is virtually silence. Like there's no talking really whatsoever, and I had like a thing of nachos, and so I was like, I had to like quickly eat my nachos when there's like a loud sound because I didn't want to do it. Because at the beginning of the movie, it was all quiet, and I started eating my nachos. My friend that was with me, she like did that kind of slow turn at me, and I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And so I was just like, "Oh, great! Now I gotta wait." And then like whenever there's like loud sounds or something, I had to like stuff my mouth really quick because it was just so
Hmm.
quiet throughout the whole movie theater. There was no sound whatsoever. Um,
Yeah.
the Conjuring films, I do love those.
Yeah, those are really good.
Primarily the first two. Well, yeah, all three are good. I mean, they have like spin-offs with
Hmm.
Annabelle and the Nun, and there's another one. But I love the Conjuring films. Those are my favorites for sure.
Hmm. They're very good. Very well done.
Oh yeah. Um, what other horror movie? There's a lot.
Hmm.
It's actually been a while since I've seen some good. I did watch Orphan First Kill a while
Hmm.
back. I thought it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. Um, Obviously, it's kind of a movie that you really didn't need, but it's a movie that kind of made you feel even sad for Esther. In that, and
Yeah.
when you watch that movie and then watch the first movie, you feel a little sad for her being what you would have if you would have watched just the first movie. So,
Hmm.
it was still a
Yeah.
pretty good movie.
It explained a lot of the stuff that she was doing. I
Yeah.
remember I actually went on the actress's Instagram and she was talking about how she was doing like a free giveaway for like the Orphan First Kill script. And it was practically a cosplay competition. You just dressed up
Oh.
as the character and I was like, I have to enter in this. But it didn't matter because I lost anyways. But at least I ended up on her Instagram story. So that's all that counts, right?
Oh, you did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was excited about that, but kind of sad because that would have been my twin's birthday gift because she really likes Orphan and was like a signed
Oh.
copy. But that didn't happen, so I got her something else. Can't
Well,
remember what it was, but it was definitely something else.
the original plan I had didn't go the way I did, the way I wanted to. So here's something completely different for you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Um, that's pretty cool. I do like that actress. She is very good. I don't think I've
Hmm.
seen. It's weird because I don't remember if I've seen her in anything else other than just
She's
that
been in the
movie.
Hunger Games.
Oh, was she?
She played Clove, the District 1 female career tribute.
Oh,
Yeah, she
I
got
was
killed by Thresh
I was
by the
never really a
cornucopia.
big I was never really a big Hunger Games person, to be honest. So,
Hmm.
and then Jennifer Lawrence isn't that great. So,
Oh,
well, I mean, if you like her, that's fine. Well, I say that
we
because she
see
was.
where you stand.
Well, it's primarily because I did not like her when they kind of rebooted the X-Men and she played Mystique. I really didn't like that. I didn't like that kind of character.
Um,
But
hmm.
she's fine in Hunger Games, but I it is what it is. I won't justify myself to you. So. but yeah, let's see. What else was there?
I mean, I love horror movies, but I'm also a sucker for like rom-coms and Studio Ghibli movies. Those definitely get me. Every rom-com I watch, I always try not to watch it with someone because I always secretly cry. Like, I was with my boyfriend's family because they asked, "Oh, do you want to come over and watch a movie?" And I was like, "Okay." So we went to go watch it. We watched The Leap Year, which is like super cute. It was really funny, but like there was one part and I started crying and I was like, I hope no one sees me right now. This would be so embarrassing.
I was never a big the Notebook kind of guy.
Oh, I never watched that one.
Really?
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Oh.
came around years later. Uh, there's that. That will make you cry. I will tell you now. There's one called The Age of Adeline
Hmm.
that will make you cry. It's about a woman who never ages,
Hmm.
and so it's a pretty good movie. And then there's one called The Lovely Bones.
Oh, I saw that one. And there's a book on it too. I
Yeah,
read
that
it.
one makes you cry.
Yeah.
So a lot of people make you cry. But yeah, those are. I've never been. It really depends for me what the rom com is.
Hmm.
Um, so it definitely depends. Anything with Adam Sandler, I'm all for. So,
I like Adam Sandler. I think he's a funny actor. Like I'll watch his movies. I don't understand like everyone's hate towards him. I think
um,
he's funny.
yeah, I don't know. I love him. He is
Hmm.
great. That is for sure. That is for sure. But all right, guys, that is going to wrap up this week's episode of Nerd Talk. Thank you guys for watching. And as per usual, you guys it should be showing up on screen now. But here's every way you can follow and support. And just tell everybody one last time how they can follow and support you.
Sure. So my Instagram is Redpompeii. That's Redpompeii. And then my TikTok is Useria, which is Yuzurizha. There's like five U's in that one little thing going on.
And
And
so,
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, this was very fun. I had a good time having you on. Thank you very much for coming on. But be sure to check out the rest of the channel, you guys. Plenty of content up there now. And other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.